Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to GameStar TV on this Thursday night for your weekly dose of Paladins action. It is the HEYPAL Summer 17, and for the final time tonight, my name is Kit Fox, your host, Crisis is your producer, and your casters are I Hold Shift and Aggro Tank. But if you have just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, we need to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Zowie, Strive for Perfection, High Res for giving us the skins, which you should have all entered in the chat for, ! HEYPAL if you haven't done so, and of course, Split Media Labs with their products such as Challenge, XSplit, and Player.me powering our broadcasts. And without their support, there would be no tournament, no prizes, and no fun, and no skins for you guys to win, because Onslaught Fernando, Black Ice Eevee, or Snapdragon Ying are all up for grabs. So our producer Crisis is going to shut down the raffle now and draw a winner. And if it's not you, don't stress. We're going to give away one more skin after this night. So any second now, the bot will be ticking over. And there it is. It is Secret Sources. It is offline, so we're going to have to redraw that one. And of course, you can see under there where the bot star says that you are following the stream. Make sure you are, or otherwise you get that public shame. You get that Cersei Lannister treatment. So we're going to redraw that one. And it looks like Dolio has got himself a skin, and he's got himself a fan base in the chat as well. So congratulations to Dolio, the big man. Contact us after the stream, and we will get you sorted with Onslaught Fernando, Black Ice Eevee, or Snapdragon Ying. But that is it from me, because it's time for Avant versus Redux. We're going to Serpent Beach, so it's all yours. I Hold Shift and Aggro Tank.
Thank you once again for that lovely and warm introduction. And it is round 5, the final round of GameStar regional play, and it will be, again, like you mentioned, the 2-seed Avant and the 3-seed Redux coming up once again against each other, and this should be really interesting. Avant Garde holds the tilt in this matchup at a 2-0 scoreline when it comes down to them, but both teams actually finding losses in round number 4 at scorelines of 4-1. Kings getting surprised, or Avant Garde getting surprised by Kings, and Redux actually getting surprised by Corvidae. So that's an interesting little storyline, as now Corvidae and Kings have thrown their hats into the ring as far as potentially qualifying in for that last finals. But again, the 2 and the 3 seeds here, really a lot on the line as they both battle up and try to get themselves in a position of an advantage as they go possibly into Sunday. Things moving through, though, again, it will be Serpent Beach, and we've seen Avant once before, but we have yet to see Reno come through and play tonight. Aggro, anything in particular that you expect out of the R squad here?
Yeah, I'm looking for a good game. They actually came quite close to not playing today because their captain was actually out. So they were looking to not play, but we convinced them otherwise, and they've managed to find some subs, and they are bringing their A game. It's going to be an interesting game to see. Like you said, both teams had surprising losses last round. So they're going to come back with a vengeance, and let's see who comes out on top.
Without a doubt, and we're going to have to see again, like you mentioned, who comes out on top, and that will possibly flip things up and shake things up in the standings, which could mean a lot for both teams. Select again, Avant had a really nice game earlier on against Abyss, the only team that's really put up a fight against that powerhouse juggernaut, and it will, in fact, be Avant with the first overall pick, as such is hovered over, and will be looking to possibly grab, and will grab the Makoa first pick, first lock, almost very instantly and quickly. And to counter things back up very quickly, in fact, it will be the double tank of Fernando and Ruckus, so no hesitation to kind of show their hand here on Serpent Beach. Again, double tanks are very strong, and especially that combination of Fernando and Ruckus can be very formidable, and almost immediately to counter out that big shielding health pool of the Fernando Ruckus, it looks like it might, in fact, be the Drogos and Shaolin. Good draft so far for Avant Garde.
Yeah, and what I find interesting is seeing the Fernando and Ruckus get picked up by the boys at Redux there is... We actually saw the play come through Avant earlier in the second game there, where they picked up the Fernando and the Ruckus. So it's interesting to see it getting counted now for them and leaving them to pick something else.
Yeah, and it's just interesting to kind of show your hand that quickly with the double front line, just simply because, again, Drogos and Shaolin are by far the biggest damage dealers to shield comps, and it allows Avant Garde to take those almost immediately in reaction, and to try to deal with that dragon, it will be the Cassie and Androxus, two very strong picks to get some airborne shots done very quickly, taking off a lot of health pool of Drogos if they can confirm those shots. So I like the counter there. It will allow the supports to be left on board for the final 3 picks, or at least some combination of that. Corlin currently, again, he had a really nice game with the Kinessa in Timber Mill, looking to possibly lock her in for this match on the nighttime setting of Serpent Beach, and that is in fact the case, and the Serpent wielder himself, Maldamba, will be coming into play as well here for Avant Garde. And what will be the final pick? It will be Grover. So again, looking for more long-range damage plus the heal power that he can bring both passively and with his Blossom. I really enjoy that pick, as he'll be able to pretty much sit in the front line and try to find the Kinessa at distance to put out both healing and damage numbers. Of course, that's all in theory. We'll have to see if that actually gets applied in-game. That being said, I have to sit there and say, again, this Kinessa pick is interesting. Serpent Beach, not the greatest map, not the worst map for Kinessa, and we saw Corlin do a very decent job, not just decent, but a very great job on the Kinessa in her home turf of Timber Mill. Are you expecting similar numbers from Kinessa here, or are you expecting the Drogos and Shaolin to kind of outshine the sniper-wielding bounty hunter?
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely a very hard map for Kinessa, but Corlin has been playing it quite well tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see, but I am expecting more from Drogos tonight.
Without a doubt, and again, it would be interesting to see how heavily invested Avant Garde goes straight into possibly pulling up some wreckers, as either our team names have switched, or we missed something when it came from drafting, as it looks like the blue team has switched things over. The team names are just a little backwards. So it will be the blue team and not the red team. Blue team will be Avant Garde. They were shown as red on the draft, but that's the little bit of a little spectator issue. So as we take a look, it will be Avant Garde playing with the blue trunks, and it will be, again, the red-sided team of Redo coming out looking to possibly overtake the 2 seed with this compositional front line as we're taking a look. And Serpent Beach, again, is the destination for us here in the Temple Eye setting. And it will be Corlin again playing Kinessa. Sachi GG will play Makoa. Lionberg on the Shaolin. Rice will be playing the Drogos. And Coot on Maldamba.
Yeah, man, up for the Redux, and we are seeing Fried Right on Ruckus, Brachia Sigma the Grover, DLS 97 on Fernando, Styko AU on Androxus, and Paragon on Cassie.
And so far, a couple of itemization choices coming in, but not many at the moment as we take a look through what that could possibly be. A lot of Haven being picked up and prioritized defensively for Redux. Again, all the damage except for Drogos coming out for Avant Garde, at least auto-attack damage-wise, will be mitigated by Haven, and that will result in 4 selections of that. So Drogos, again, the door is open for those big damage numbers. It will be 2 wreckers coming out for both Shaolin and Drogos, respectively, which is about what we would anticipate normally, and we'll get on board and see how Redux decide to play this. Again, they have that frontline pressure. It looks like they're actually going to opt to go towards the super side, back over towards the waterfall, puts it really pressure down, and a lot of damage coming out onto the front line, but a nice pull from the Makoa will result in 3 kills, actually, as things get converted. Pardon me, as Paragon is able to find 1 before he falls, but still Avant Garde able to find themselves on top, even in the face of all of that shielding and all that health pool. Again, Corlin putting a lot of damage into them. He gets a little bit too frisky getting out front, able to find a couple dismounts and a couple damage shots, but really not much at all. It's another good pull by Makoa. It will be mitigated out by the reversal, though, as things, again, looking as Redux trying to get back towards this point. It is 39% in favor of Avant Garde, but they do back off for the moment as the full force of Reno is coming right back into things, and they were missing the Kinessa for at least part of that fight, but no, it is actually Fernando falling along with Androxus, so things moving very nicely for Avant Garde one more time as Lionberg picks himself up a double kill, and Corlin on the Kinessa finding a lot of damage. Again, you can see it, up to 1,600 plus damage in face of all of that health. It just melts away, and both of these frontliners for Redux have to back up into a very narrow corner, and it will result in Drogos to get a fire spit out and do just massive amounts of damage. Again, it just comes from so many different sources, and now Avant back on top of the point, able to get this tied at 75, and now still climbing as they try to get that first point in their favor.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at the boys with their pick of getting all Haven there hasn't really helped them out there, and they're still getting pretty squishy. But we are seeing a couple of new card picks getting some morale boost and some life rip coming in. So we'll see how that plays out for him, getting that ult out faster and stealing a bit of health to try and stay alive.
It's interesting to kind of commit to that so soon. But interestingly enough, it should hopefully result in that Immortal coming up a little bit earlier as possible, as well as a couple other key ultimates to keep the team staying alive, as they are facing a lot of different damage. And again, with that Haven coming on early, the Drogos is able to put out full damage with no mitigation whatsoever onto the majority of these players. And you can see his numbers are already climbing as he's finding himself on a 5-streak. A nice pull there from Makoa, able to take Adroxus out of the sky, right above that balcony. Lionberg able to convert as well, finding himself a double. Soch GG able to get another nice pull after getting that cannonball conversion onto the Grover. A long distance shot does not quite hit as Rice is able to pick up the kill onto the Ruckus, but things moving very nicely with still well over a minute and a half until overtime, and this payload is already very dangerously close. Another nice Dredgeanchor. Again, Soch is flexing that Dredgeanchor muscle as he's able to throw that right hand very freely and get a lot of converted pulls into kills. And you can see that kill feed still very much favoring Avant Garde, even though Fried Rye is right back into this as the Ruckus able to get some damage and push Avant Garde, at least for the meantime, back a little bit more out of this area that is very much in control of Redux at the moment.
Yeah, and looking at just the total damage table right now, we're seeing the top 4 damage in this game so far is all Avant Garde. So they're definitely holding that damage, they're holding in those kills, and Payload's getting pushed back now though. So Redux is trying to surge back. We're seeing a Fernando shield blocking over. We're seeing a bit more. Yep, the boys pushing forward now from Avant Garde though. Now we're seeing Soch GG use his ult and try and do top end rate.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates coming out, Dread Serpent as well as the Hexafire. A lot of damage coming from that combination as the Hexafire shreds through. The Dread Serpent not converted on for Redux as much as I think they may have intended, for Avant Garde, and Redux counters it very nicely with an Immortal, and again the Hexafire to push everyone back away, so with the successful defense more and more likely, as again a lot of damage was felt very quickly from the Ruckus, and as you had mentioned, not a lot of players, Redux getting that damage done at the moment, and it's falling really to the frontline presence to keep this thing in their favor if possible, and with less than 10 seconds away, Avant Garde is starting to file back onto this payload, trying to get this one more shot, but again, I don't anticipate seeing too many more ultimates being popped here as we are now in overtime, but Shaolin with that planet might as well be an ultimate ability as he absolutely destroys through that Fernando. But hold on, as it will be the Adroxus finding 2, but Kun finding a triple kill again on the Maldaba. He's done so well previously. He finds 3 more here, and it will be the Fernando committing his life and his shields to this point to allow his team to get back. And fortunately enough, Ruckus was just behind him, so the Repulsor field plus the emitter will keep him alive for a little bit longer. And again, this proximity, but they need to find kills though. If you are the fan of Rita, they need to find something. The Makoa is still right here, getting pulls left and right, and the Maldaba as well, sustaining that health very quickly. It's Tristan Drox is now at another Dread Serpent, interestingly enough, coming out very late. Will convert the 2-0, not necessary, I don't believe, but still converting the point is Avant Garde, and they go up very quickly and very steeply at 2-0.
Yeah, I do feel like it's definitely a little bit of a wasted ult there from Maldamba. They really didn't need the extra pressure on the point. That was essentially locked in for them, but it shouldn't affect him too much. He should be able to get it back up pretty fast, and we'll see what happens with that.
Indeed, we've seen again, Kun on this Maldamba has done so well. He's 7-1-9 on a 9 streak. Incredible numbers from him, opting to go with the Kronos and the Haven, and now we're seeing that those defensive items are coming online for Avant Garde. They're sitting here saying, well, maybe we don't need to invest so much into Record. We're still finding a lot of convert damage onto that front line of Rito. They really haven't been able to establish themselves as much as I think they hope to. Again, on the backside of Cassie and Droxus, not really getting a lot of freedom to put in damage onto the Kinessa, which seems to be the factor. Again, if the Androxus cannot get into that backline and harass this Kinessa, it's just so much damage. That's been the case thus far, as again the Drogos able to sit back in this field, really kind of at least starting to look like a field flank attempt. This is a double kill coming out from the Drogos onto Redo, a third one coming out from Soch GG, make that a delayed triple kill for Drogos as he finds the 4th of possibly 5, and a nice little Gord to help keep the Drogos alive and sustain it. Kinessa actually getting aggressive right into the front line of what would be Redo, but again with the delayed and the stagger coming out, it's been a lot of aggressive positioning for the side of Avant Garde, and with over 63% already on this capture point, they're looking very strong to possibly take this to a very, very heavily favored 3-0, but not so fast as Fernando and Ruckus are trying to work their way back onto the point to contest. But still, no one is looking at this Drogos, and a huge Spitfire comes up doing tons of damage. The Hexafire on point doesn't really find too much of anybody, and still this Drogos is able to freely throw out these Spitfires. So much damage coming in. A couple of converted projectile red rockets as well, and even though his team is falling a little bit around him, he found a lot of damage, and it's going to result in Redo having to try to play a little bit more passively than I think they would like to, not able to get aggressive and zone out, which will allow this Makoa to again get free hooks onto the Ruckus, and with 99% in Avant Garde, Redo is right here at 93, but again, it is Avant Garde contesting. The Immortal is popped to keep the team alive, and it does so successfully as Ruckus does not fall. A double kill for the Fernando on the back end of that Immortal, but Drogos is still here. He's dancing and thrusting back and forth, finds the double kill on Makoa and straight targets, make that a triple. Can he find the quad? He does! An incredible play at low HP. The Drogos able to clean up those low health pools on the back end of the Immortal. Wow! Not something you would normally expect from a Drogos, able to get those 4K and a 3-0 lead for his squad of Avant Garde.
And just giving that team the time to come back and just help cap that push, but let's be real, Drogos had that push in the bag right there.
Without a doubt, and you play that well in the face of a 1v4, my goodness. Really, your team has to be sitting there saying, we'll just sit and spawn, buddy. You just take this thing the rest of the way through. Things moving, though, a little bit stalled out as we get to just below that 2-minute marker. Nobody from Avant Garde really close to the payload, as there were a couple of health pools traded for on the back end of that incredible Drogos play. Knessa looking to set up a little bit of an advantage spot over here, prospectively right for her. Nice shot on the Knessa, or the Cassie, pardon me, make that 2, as Cassie has to dodge roll back out into the brunt force of where the rest of her team is. Again, not really having the ability to flank her out as much as I think she was totally playing, as Lionberg is able to find a confirmed kill, but not so fast as the Ruckus is still here, and trading back and forth really happening for both teams. And again, this payload really kind of stalling out as no team is really finding an advantage one way or the other, as there's been a lot of trading, but still, this perspective left side for Redo is very, very dangerous, as that Knessa is essentially camped up and is starting to cook.
Yeah, we discussed at the start if we see Knessa shine on the map, and looking at the damage that we are seeing Knessa going through, she is currently sitting second. She was leading for quite a while, popping up full cauterize. She's going to get paid and a life for it as well, after those amazing Drogos plays to see realistically.
Drogos has been finding a lot of that damage into the shields of that front line, which is exactly what his job is. But the Dread Serpent now on top of point. We're less than 45 seconds until payload gets to overtime, and it's right around the corner, making its last advance up this steep hill. No real conversions. Assange GG finds one, but Ruckus is right here to put a lot of damage into the face of both the Shaolin and the Meldamba, but a nice little reload mechanic will help get a stun just in time to save the Meldamba, and right on top of that, Makoa there to help get the pulse. A little bit of a chain stun happening, and with the damage coming out from both what you mentioned, with the Knessa and the Drogos, a lot of kills coming out, and now we're seeing the same old song and dance from Redo as they have to continue to dance around the point and let these payloads stall out while the team respawns. But again, there are no kills coming out for Redo Esports Club, and that's exactly what they need if they want to help defend this, but no, nothing is there. And on the back end of an incredible Drogos game, Avant Garde finds themselves victorious as the 2 seed overtakes the 3 at a scoreline of 4-0.
Yeah, looking at this end screen here, we were correct at the start there. As amazing as Knessa was that game, which we weren't expecting, we have seen Drogos come out on top there for the damage.
That's almost to be expected, because that buff to Salvo that he has recently got in the most recent patch has made his full kit extremely devastating. Not to mention that when he gets airborne, if nobody can deal with him, it's just free skies and all of that aerial advantage going towards the way of Avant Garde, and that is the case here, as 92.7k damage is felt on the back end of a 33-5 game with 9 solo kills. Of course, 4 of those coming in a 1v4 situation right on top of the payload point at 99%. And I think that says it all as far as who our Plantronics MVP will be. Unless there's disagreement, I don't believe we will see it. My vote goes to Rice, without a doubt. Yeah, hands down, that's got to go to Rice. That was an amazing 1v4, and just capitalized so well from that. Indeed, indeed. Again, I'm going to have my work cut off for me sending a lot of these plays in for the top 5 submissions. My goodness, OCE coming to life with the hot plays tonight, and it's only midweek. We still have things coming up for the weekend. But as, again, we finish things out, it will be Avant Garde overtaking Redux Esports Club in that 5th and final round. The other scores being reported: Abyss Esports takes out Corvidae at 4-0, and Surge Esports Club able to actually take out the newcomers Benevolent 4-1. But before we call it quits over here on the casting side, we do still have giveaways to go for you all in chat. So let's make sure we get a little bit more information on how you can enter yourself into that last giveaway. Please take it away, Kid Fox.
Thank you very much. I hold shift, and of course Aggro Tank for that amazing match between Avant Garde and Redux on Serpent Beach. And we are going to draw another skin, an Onslaught Fernando, Black Ice Eevee, or Snapdragon Ying could be yours. All you need to do is type !HeyPal, as a lot of you have already done, into the Twitch chat. And just while our producer rattles the cage with the balls in it, so to speak, a quick congratulations to our 5 MVP nominations tonight: Josh Kent, Diggy Dog, Matzi, Seirico, and Rice for their plays tonight. They all go into the draw for a Plantronics Rig 500 HD headset, which will be drawn on Monday night's MVP show, which will only go for about 15 minutes to half an hour, but it'll be a good show nonetheless. And now we're going to draw this raffle as our producer pushes the buttons. Congratulations to Cthulhu. Wow, bad luck. He's not following the stream. So point and laugh at him, because the poor man has just missed out because he was not following the stream. So Maxi90 is now the new winner of a skin. So congratulations, mate. Everybody who won tonight, contact at GameStar1 on Twitch, and we will get your details, and you can choose the Onslaught Fernando, Black Ice Eevee, or Snapdragon Ying. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight in the Twitch chat. The instructions are going to come out to claim your prize in the chat very, very soon. Congratulations to all the teams who will crunch the numbers soon. We have to do a lot of calculations to see who's qualified, but I think it's safe to say that Abyss are through. And then I believe Avant Garde, with their 3-2 berth tonight, may have also qualified uncatchable. But the 3rd and 4th spot still are up for grabs, and we'll get those posts up during the week. But for the final time tonight, Aggro Tank was your caster. So was I Hold Shift. Crisis was your producer. I was your host, Kit Fox. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you Sunday for the ODC, for those 4 teams to qualify to play it out for the prizes. We'll see you then.